Catherine Hover, the purveyor of fun and founder of the Palette community, and welcome to the Here For It Live. This show is my chance to talk one-on-one with inspiring members of our community and beyond about how to show up as your authentic self in career and in life. And today, my guest is the amazing Sam Reyes. Is that how you pronounce your last name? You have to correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
That's right.
He is sort of new to the area, right? Sort of new to the capital region.
Extremely new, yeah.
Extremely new. And you moved here from Virginia Beach. So from what I gather, it's like a bit of a shock to wake up to tons and tons of snow this morning.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I'm actually streaming live from New Orleans. That's my hometown, and it's actually Mardi Gras right now. And so we brought the kids down for winter break, and we have been doing Mardi Gras things. So it's I think it's pretty awesome that we can, still operate and conduct life from, opposite ends of the country right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so happy you're there because I'm betting it's way warmer than it is right now here.
Well, it's funny, like we're staying with my parents and my dad came in this morning. He's like, I gotta get a jacket. It's chilly out. And I'm like, what is chilly, And it's like 50 degrees. I'm like,
oh my gosh. I think it's like 16 degrees right now.
I know. Like the way that I get through winter is I have to keep my eye on the prize of like vacations and time away.
Yeah.
And I just keep my head down, to be honestly. Like I just like dig myself into work. And unfortunately I'm not into like winter sports. That's something that I should probably get myself into so it won't be as miserable. But yeah, it's really hard for me. I have like a really hard time with winter, and I guess the best way to describe my attitude during winter is like frustration. It's like everything takes, double the time. And then if you're doing it with kids, it takes like triple the time.
Yeah.
Well, enough about the crazy winter. I want to talk about you. Tell everybody, kind of like your trajectory and how you got to Saratoga.
So basically I'm a chef by profession, and my boyfriend.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. What a jerk I am.
My boyfriend, transitioned out of the military and got a job up here. So I thought, this would be a huge opportunity to start really working on myself and what I really want to do for myself. Like I really wanted to start investing in myself. So I thought it would be a great opportunity. I'm still a chef, but I'm also working to get Caffeine Queens off the ground. And I found Palette. It's crazy how I found it, actually. I was just doing research and I wanted to participate in the winter market, but it was all sold out at the time. I wasn't able to get in, but I connected with Marcella, and she started telling me about this amazing community and all these women who are, willing to help. And I thought to myself, I was like, wow, I probably should get into this, only because it's like the universe telling me a sign. Like this is, this is the place and this is the time. So jump if you can. But yeah, I've been here since August, and I joined you guys, and it's been, I can't even describe like the energy in the office. I want to say it's like everyone has a power hour. Like it's just silent and everyone gets work done, and then we just talk. Yeah. And it's just insane. I've never like been in a space like that with like so many inspiring females, and it's just super empowering. I can't.
Yes. Oh my God. I love to hear that. Because it's like I created this space because I know I feel most confident when I'm surrounded by other positive, inspiring, encouraging people. And I kind of felt like, I can't be the only one who is like fitting into other spaces that don't really provide for them. And so, that's really like the mission behind Palette is just to give us space, give us our own space to do what we need to do, work on what we need to work on. If we have ideas, we can bounce them off of each other. And it's not that people won't say like, that's a stupid idea or that's a crazy idea or like, it's not like we're all like Pollyanna all the time. But we come from a place of yes, we come from a place of support, and we want everyone to succeed. Like I think when I don't know if I told you this when we first met, but I'm never gonna be a chef, I'm never gonna go into that endeavor, so by you being a member of Palette, and I know that's not really why you joined, but it just gives me a window into what your world is like and what your life is like and the struggles you face and the challenges you overcome. And, it just gives me a chance to be a part of whatever it is you're doing. And, I think that the other part of it is like, it solves my FOMO, to have Palette, because I'm not like out here searching for like what else I'm gonna do or what else do I need to overcome. It's like we're overcoming all sorts of things simultaneously together, and by being a part of Palette, you're able to stay the course. That's the other part of it. It's like there's this accountability factor. Once you tell somebody you're gonna work on something or blow something up, or you set a goal with someone else, it's kind of hard to back up from that, because it's just you have this momentum from everyone who's encouraging you and supporting you, and and I think people at Palette have my back, and I have their back, and it's just and it's not just me, it's like it's something that everyone feels when they walk into the space. So I love to hear that, but so tell us, like, okay, so let's not talk about your it's not really what it's what you do, but it's not what you're most passionate about, and it's not what you really want to advance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about what, like, you have this poster behind you, the Brew Bottle. That is like a pretty new, like, thing that you've just launched, right? And it just has blown up.
Yes. So our mission at Caffeine Queens is we want to cancel the paper cup pollution. And it's kind of hard if you have, like a really busy schedule. It's always so convenient to like go to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts and just order a cup of coffee and take it on the go. So we came up with a solution where it literally takes 3 minutes. You don't even have to think about it. Like, it's super. I actually have it right here.
Awesome.
But this is our brewer bottle, and it comes like we have a little sleeve, and you just put your coffee in here. Or your tea. It works for both, hot or cold. I know a lot of people like cold brew, so it works for both. And you place it back into the cup, and then you pour your water over, and it literally makes your coffee, and you're like out the door in 3 minutes.
Wow, that's awesome. So, like, how did you even come up with this? Like, were you just like, this is just blowing my mind. It's like,
honestly, Starbucks got expensive. First off. $7 coffees are a lot, especially, during COVID. You're not really trying to spend a lot of money on coffee. Like, and secondly, like, I was a single parent for, I want to say, quite some time, and trying to save money and drink good coffee, like it's hard.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, maybe somebody who's on the go would love something like this. And sure enough, like, a lot of people that have purchased it in the past tell me that it works great for like camping or travel. And yeah, it's just amazing. I know people are into like the designer looking tumblers, but our brewer bottles are leak proof, they're eco-friendly, and they're made of like sustainable material. So we're also trying to be, nice to the environment and really bring this full circle.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us, like, so the brewer bottle is like probably like a new product that you've launched, right? But it didn't start there, right?
No, we actually, so behind Caffeine Queens, first off, I didn't know I had anxiety and that drinking coffee gave me anxiety. I mean, chefs are always wired on caffeine, right? And I thought, well, maybe more is going to be better, but that's not the case. After I did some digging, I found a product that, combined CBD and coffee, because like I said, I run off coffee. And so we actually have a CBD coffee available for people who have anxiety. It helps with muscle inflammation, and it also doesn't taste like hemp. It actually tastes like it has a full body flavor of like nuts and coffee. So you don't have to worry about, tasting hemp in your coffee or being high. Some people like automatically assume it makes you high, but that's not the case. It's actually the perfect balance between mellow and focus. That's what it gives me. And our CBD coffee actually comes in a bag, so you can adjust how much you intake. I know
Awesome.
everyone.
And you can make this coffee in the brewer bottle.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So how long have you been, really committed to working on Caffeine Queens? Like, I mean, I know you said it came from your own anxiety or experience with anxiety and needing, but like, what really kind of got you to say, okay, this is a business. I'm going to make this a business and I'm going to scale it and I'm going to help other people with their own anxiety right
now? Honestly, our TikToks have kind of validated it. It's kind of hard to promote CBD product though on like TikTok or Shopify. So I actually had to take it down. It's been flagged as like drug use or something like that, but it's really not the case. But there are people out there who love coffee and they have anxiety and they don't realize it, that it just, drinking caffeine makes it worse. Yeah. And so I figured like I would try to do more pop-ups to educate people. And every time I give them the spiel, they're just like, oh yeah, that makes sense, So I'm like, people really do need this product. And there's not very many on the market. So why not?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're in a good position because I think it's all about to explode. I mean, we're starting to see more CBD products out on the market and more advertised and everything, but there are still like just so many people who are there's still stigma with it, and they're just like, oh, no CBD.
Yeah.
It's funny, like so this is like a little personal story. So I'm in New Orleans like for Mardi Gras, staying with my parents, and like there's this like little jar on the counter. I'm like, Dad, what is this? And he's like, oh yeah, it's CBD. I put it on. It's like a roll-on that he puts on his back when it's hurting. I'm like, Dad, this is a big step for you. Okay, to be doing the CBD. He's like, no, I'm telling you, it's all it works, and it doesn't. He's like, I'm not getting high.
Yeah, and that's like the biggest thing that I get like every time, or since I've been doing pop-ups, people are like, CBD coffee, like, does it get you high? And I'm like, no, let me explain. It's actually under the legal amount that we put into our coffee. So like I said, it's the perfect balance. If you get jitters when you drink coffee, this doesn't give you any jitters. It gives you more of the focus. And when I was drinking regular coffee, I always felt like I was kind of like choking because I guess I drank too much and it was really bad for me. It wasn't a good thing to mix anxiety and caffeine. And that was when I realized, like, I need to do some research and see what's going on with my body, because you just worry at that point. And then you educate yourself. And I just really would like people to learn about this.
Yeah. And that's what's exciting too. It's just like people, there as many people as there are out there that are like, oh no, I'm not going to do any CBD, hemp, any whatever. There's like more amounts of people who are really interested and intrigued by it and fascinated by it. And so you've been doing these pop-up events, and we have one at Palette scheduled next week. So tell us more about that, the time, what people can expect, and what you can buy.
So next week is going to be kind of insane. We're going to start with the Palette event, and that's at noon. So I'm going to be there from 12 to 1-ish. And I'm going to be we're going to have free samples of our CBD coffee. I'm going to have a couple of our brewer bottles and some CBD products available. But then we're also going to have some rosé, because why not, right?
Yes.
And, I just kind of want to introduce the brand to the Palette community and introduce myself and kind of set the tone for the rest of this year. And it's looking a little insane, I'm not going to lie, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We're making moves, right?
Yes. And you should celebrate every single one of the moves.
Miranda, yes. I actually listened to her, I think it's a business program, and that was like one of the first ones that I listened to, and it was like so inspiring. Like a lot of people aren't very transparent about running a business, like it's not always the highs that you should celebrate. And she's completely right. Like every step of the way should be celebrated, because you're going to look back at this when you're completely like, I don't know. You're going to look back at it and think like, God, that's where I started and I didn't like celebrate it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think like there's a piece of it that it's like, you really have to start believing that it's all going to work out. You know, I think that's like the biggest like catalyst that forces you to say like, oh my God, yeah, I'm doing this. We're doing this. And once it's out there, you just keep going. And I'm a huge proponent of like leap and then look, you know, take the leap and then figure it out while you're crashing and burning. Maybe, you know, you right before you're about to crash and burn, you like set off, and it's just the most incredible thing. I mean, I have so many examples of like, I did not know what I was doing, and I did it anyway. And people come to support. There are people who don't support you. There are people that'll be like, oh, this will never work. But there's like two more of that person that does believe that it will work, and they show up. Like they come out through the woodworks, and it's just the most incredible feeling to feel supported and by strangers. That's the other thing that's so cool. Not right now. It's so cool, like to be surrounded by people who you don't know that absolutely are obsessed with you, obsessed with your product because they believe in you. And I mean, we have people commenting right now on the LinkedIn, like, where can I buy your brewer bottles? One idea. Hashtag Will said caffeine royals. But yeah, so you're doing it, girl, and we're here right with you. And you know, I'm big on setting goals. So it's like, how many brewer bottles can we sell on Friday?
I don't know. We'll find out.
So why don't you tell everybody what your website is so people can go on, because they don't have to wait until Friday to, like, if they can't get to Palette on Friday between 12 and 1 next week, I believe it's the 4th, March 4th. If they can't get there, where can they buy your product? Because they don't have to wait. They don't have to wait until Friday. They can buy your product right now, right?
They'll always be available on our Shopify store. So it's going to be www.caffeinequeens.com. And we're also, I know we roll right into our first big expo of the year. I know I'm a little insane, but for the weekend after our Palette party, we do the Women's Expo in Albany on the 5th and the 6th.
Okay. Wow. You're not insane. I have to like stop you. You're not insane. You are an ambitious businesswoman, okay? And if you don't get out there in front of people and show people the product and let them meet you, you know, you're not gonna reach the goals you're setting up for yourself. So you have to be audaciously ambitious and unapologetic about it. You know, like, you're out here, you're doing it, people support you. And I'm sorry, that is Ruby, and she's like, they're literally behind the computer just staring at me, just like they're ready to pounce. But they know I'm like, I am on right now in a meeting in an important event, and they better not. Yeah, they're just like looking at me like, we're ready for you to be done. But listen, you're not insane. That's my point, is you're not insane. You are ambitious. We support you. We love you. And I can't wait to get one of your brewer bottles.
You guys are awesome. You have been nothing like but supportive. And it's just amazing to have a community, you know, like this.
Yes. And we're happy to have you. So is there anything else you want to add or tell anybody? You know, obviously the website is www.caffeinequeens, and caffeine is spelled CAFFEINE queens.com. This is Sam. Sam, are you on LinkedIn?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
Yes. And on the Palette community website, you can find Sam. I'm so happy to have you. I'm so happy you came on the Here For It Live. Thanks for sharing yourself with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everyone, I implore you to stop by at Palette it's in Saratoga? Or Saratoga Palette from 12 to 1 next Friday, March 4th. And if you can't get her there, she'll be at the Women's Expo in Albany on Saturday and Sunday. Oh my gosh, you are going to need some caffeine and some CBD to keep yourself going and rolling. You're going to be great. I'm sure you're going to sell out of these bottles because they're brilliant. And it's just such a brilliant idea, you know? So, and those you can get on your website also, or you're going to have some on hand so people can like grab and go. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, we have so many comments on LinkedIn. That like we're gonna sell your hopefully your website's like blowing up right now. People buying some brewer bottles.
I haven't even checked. I'm like right here, right now, living in the moment.
Yay, I love it. I love it. Well, thanks so much for being here. Stay tuned next week. I don't even know who's coming on the show next week. But anytime you want to jump on this call again with me, I'm happy to share the palette community and our platform with you. You know, you should actually go on the Get Your Mind Right with Marcella too, and she does a program called Get Your Mind Right, and it's all around, you know, mental wellness, health, taking care of yourself, self-care, and like really drilling down into it. Like we say self-care all the time, but self-care means something different to everybody. Like me personally, I like to go to the movies by myself. That is like a form of self-care in my opinion. I don't have to share the popcorn with anybody and kids, you know, staring at me, and I can just like zone out for a little bit. But she has this great program called Get Your Mind Right. She just relaunched it. So you need to go on there and talk to Marcella too, because she's a totally different like energy unicorn.
Oh yeah.
Incredible human. I always say like I cannot do anything without Marcella. None of us can. Once you have her in your life, you can't ever get rid of her.
That's a good thing though. She's amazing. Both of you are. I love it.
Absolutely. All right, lady. Well, have a good weekend. And again, everyone, Sam's website is caffeinequeens.com. Go and get yourself a brewer bottle. It will change your life. And if you can, stop by a palette next week from 12 to 1 on Friday to see Sam in the flesh. You should do it. Thanks again, everyone, for being here for it. Bye.